All right, gang, I do have a Thursday morning editorial for you, and now it's a couple days old, but it's still current news for a lot of people. And I'm going to try to get to these as quickly as I can. I don't want to get too far behind, but I did pull a couple more this morning. And what I'm going to do is work from the oldest stories forward. I'm only a couple days behind. This was 2 days ago. And but I've got editorials to give you every day, every morning now. I'm pulling stuff, and if you've noticed, I've started doing a little bit more. Started to widen out a little bit more. Where it's not just police accountability and transparency, but I'm also giving you some interest stories regarding police, like the Vietnam vet that held somebody down. I've got a couple of stories of people who are non-Leos who've committed crimes. So we're kind of tailoring it a little bit that way. Just the most interesting ones. I'm not just going to start throwing, old boring news stories at you. Try to give you the most interesting ones. But when it comes to police accountability and transparency, that's the top of the list. That's front burner to give you those stories. Now, this one here is out of Santa Monica, California, and it's some of the fallout from the protests. Remember the George Floyd protests that happened all over the nation? And every major city was protesting, and they were looting and burning stuff. Well, this is some of the fallout from that protest over May 31st, June 1st, all of those protests. This is some of the fallout from that. And it looks like we're still seeing some of the after effects. Thank you to Fox News for the story. The police chief of a Los Angeles suburb is stepping down amid anger over her department's response to protests following the death of George Floyd. Santa Monica Police Chief Cynthia Renaud announced her retirement last week after more than 2 years in the role and nearly 3 decades in law enforcement. A statement announcing her departure highlighted her accomplishments as a top cop, including a 16% reduction in crime in 2019 and increasing the number of trained officers to help the homeless. Santa Monica Police Department released a statement that said, however, recognizing that recent events both here in Santa Monica and around the nation have strained community police relations, Chief Renaud has made the decision to step aside so that the Santa Monica Police Department can continue to move forward. Critics questioned the city's police response to protest after Floyd's death. Calls for Renaud to be fired intensified after more than 200 businesses were damaged by rioters May 31st, following mostly peaceful demonstrations. Some business owners felt police were held back from stopping rioters who looted stores on Ocean Boulevard, home to many high-end shops and boutiques. Activists accused officers of firing rubber bullets and tear gas at peaceful demonstrators, the LAist reported. A petition calling for Renaud's removal elicited more than 60,000 signatures, according to the outlet. She will assume the presidency of the International Association of Chiefs of Police on October 23rd. That's this week, actually. Former Santa Monica Police Chief Jacqueline Seabrooks will come out of retirement to take over as interim chief October 26th. Couple interesting notes here. October 26th is Monday, of course, this coming Monday. It's tomorrow, Friday, that Renaud will assume the presidency of the International Association of Police Chiefs. So even though this story broke 2 days ago, I guess it was last Sunday was her last day, right? Or no, this coming Sunday, because on that Monday is going to be when the other chief takes over. Now, what I wanted to point out is that the interim police chief will be Chief Jacqueline Seabrooks. So they're taking one female, she's stepping down, they're putting another female in that position. And I'm not knocking females, but I'm kind of saying, is that just kind of the way it played out? And Jacqueline Seabrooks was the best, person for that, the best candidate? Or are they trying to replace a female police chief with a female police chief? I don't know. Is this kind of like, maybe covering the tapestry? Maybe there were no males who were eligible or good enough for that position. That's fair enough to say. But it's interesting to note that. that they're replacing a female woman police chief with another woman police chief. And there's nothing against women police chiefs. I think there's some great women police chiefs out there. Just that's an interesting notation there, because how many women police chiefs, I don't know. I opened a can of worms. You guys are going to have to close that can. I'm not touching it no more, because a lot of women right now are looking at me going, what you trying to say, buddy? Huh? What you trying to say, buddy? But on the protests in Santa Monica, I watched a lot of that on the news live as it played out. And I remember this one store, I forget the store now, that was being looted there in Santa Monica, and there were 6 or 7 police officers around the front door, and they were getting ready to go in and get the looters when like 5 or 6 people came barreling out the front door right into the arms of the police officers. And you know what the police officers did? Nothing. They stepped back and went, whoa, whoa, go, 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 go. Like, what the fuck? I mean, they didn't grab not one of those looters. Didn't grab them. And I remember, it's on my video list if you want to look for it in my over 3,800 videos. But I did a little editorial on that. Not editorial, I did a video clip. I shared a video clip on it as a news clip, because it just struck me as so hilarious. Like, this cops just like stepped back and were like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Did you get something good? Like, they didn't say that. But I was like, they didn't even try to stop these looters. So, of course, they got a 60,000 signature petition to remove this police chief, Renaud. And, of course, now you have it. She's stepping down over the petition and over the reaction of the people of Santa Monica in regards to how the police handled the protest. And, of course, I don't know. I don't think they did enough. Firing rubber bullets at peaceful demonstrators while the people are over here looting and stuff, and the cops are going, whoa, go, 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 go. Whoa, man, what that dude he's fast. I want to know what you guys think about all of this that I've said here in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers and police chiefs in California from coast to coast.